Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it's time for Saturday with Stacey, YouTube number 229. Only it's not Saturday. This YouTube was supposed to release on December 23rd, but the week before I was so sick. You have to understand, I have not missed work ever. I mean, even when I had my vertigo, I came to work. I just don't miss work, but I was so sick. It required me going into the hospital and getting an IV with antibiotics in it because I got this infection or whatever I was sick with ended up in like my lymph nodes, and my neck just swelled like you can't believe, and they were worried about having my airway constricted. But thankfully the doctor took one look at me and got that IV in me, and I am doing so much better, and now I'm still on antibiotics. You can still hear a little bit of it, but my throat, I can actually see my neck. There was a couple days there where there was no neck. So I'm glad to be feeling so much better. Thank you so much, everybody who sent your well wishes, not only for me, but for my staff. My staff is still sick. Now there's 18 of us, so it's not that all 18 of us were sick at the exact same time. It's been going from department to department, if you want to call us department. We're just one big room upstairs and one big room downstairs. But Michelle has been out sick, and Kayla was out sick, and Stephanie is out sick, and Desiree is out sick, and Kathy is out, and Dolores is out, and I mean, every time you turn around, Belinda was out sick. It's just been crazy. So I am hoping 2018 gets us all back on track and well, and this was our year of being done with all of this. Now, I found the silver lining in all of this sickness. I have lost a few pounds. Wahoo kachoo. It's because I haven't been able to eat anything. So all through Christmas, all of those yummies and treats and goodies and dinner, and not a thing. It's been very minimal. So I'm hoping that once I'm able to get back to eating real food, I keep the few pounds that I took off, but I don't know. There is so much fudge at home, and homemade banana bread and homemade zucchini bread. Now, mind you, I didn't make them, let's be clear. I am a lot of things. A cook is not one of them. I know my strengths and my weaknesses, but there is just a whole bunch of yumminess waiting for us. So I don't know if I feel better. I may find that those few pounds that I took off may come back on. We'll have to see. At any rate, I just want to let you know, I do have a drink with me. This is my Starbucks 60th anniversary Disney cup that was given to me by a very dear friend. So I have this with me. I've never had it before, but I need to have something here just in case I start to lose my voice a little bit. So this is a little bit late on the YouTube. And what that also means is that there won't be a YouTube on Saturday. This is it. This is going to have to take us into January. There is a best of 2017 Simply Defined release. There is some of the dies that sold out so quickly. I was able to bring them back. We're going to, maybe I can get that YouTube done maybe on Monday. I'm going to try and do it on Monday, which is New Year's Day, and release it then for you. We're just going to have to wait and see if I'm able to do it or not. So, if there were a couple dies from 2017 that you missed out on, this may be your opportunity to pick them up just as soon as I'm able to do that YouTube and get it released to you. So thank you for all of your well wishes. I'm excited to bring you the December collection of Simply Defined. It's called It's a Guy Thing, and it's all about the guys in our life, whether they be our dads, our uncles, our brothers, our brother-in-laws, our sons, everybody's got somebody in their life. And so I'm really excited to bring you this collection. There is a lot to it. We not only have the 6 dies that make up the I Want It All bundle, but we have the contour edge dies for this collection. We have a Kaleidoscope die for this collection. I have 2 Go Press and Foil stamp plates for this collection, and 1 die and stamp set that works with one of those Go Press and Foil stamp plates. Now, realize that Simply Defined is my release, it's my collection, so the only place you're going to find them is here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. And we have done our very best to keep our prices as low as possible. So if you see it and you like it, please order it, because when they're gone, they're gone. And I don't know that it will come back in a best of next year. You just never know what's going to come back, or even if I'll get the opportunity to do that. I also have a standalone stamp set in this collection, and I did that with my girl collection, my Be Who You Are collection, and I think I really decided that I like doing a standalone stamp set for the dies and the collections. It gives me an opportunity to put out sentiments that I don't see, and at a price for the stamps that are really very, very reasonable, and I don't have to incorporate them in the die set, so that they're not teeny tiny. I'm able to make them a size that makes my heart happy, and hopefully your heart happy. So there is a standalone stamp set in this set as well, and some of it is just for guys, but some of the stamps obviously will be able to be used for a whole bunch of different people. So hopefully you'll like the sentiments. I'm excited to bring those to you. Now we have Winter Chicken Dinner to talk about. I've got that from the last collection, which was the Ultimate Crafts, oh my gosh, bundle. That was like $150 for $29.99. It was crazy. I've got 2 winners who are going to win that. You should know, in this YouTube as well, I have exclusive product, worldwide exclusive product from Couture Creations and from Do Crafts. So not only do I have my product to show you, but I've got some exclusive, worldwide exclusives on their product too. So I'm going to announce Winter Chicken Dinner, and I'm going to go ahead and then we'll tilt down and we're going to get started. And we're going to start very simple. I'm just going to explain some of the dies to you and work with them just a little bit. And then we're going to move into a little more difficult and technique-y. I'm going to be playing with the Go Press and Foil machine today. I'm going to be playing with the Big Shot machine today. I've got a whole bunch of yummies to show you. So, and then of course the samples. The samples. The SMS girls always make the most beautiful samples. So we've got those at the end of the YouTube. All right, you guys, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. I think this Christmas for my family was about as fitting as it can be. And no, we have not started building our home yet. We can't get the insurance company to agree. We're fighting, not fighting, I don't want to say fighting because I don't fight with anybody. We're struggling to find common ground on what it's going to take to rebuild my home. I guess that's the nicest way and the most politically correct way I can put it. We're struggling to find common ground. And it's going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, but you can't start building until you know exactly how much you have to build with. So we're on our 4th bid. I hope it comes to an end soon. But I think this Christmas was about as fitting as it could be. I was sick. We bypassed most of Christmas, and I think that it was okay. All right, I'm going to announce Winter Chicken Dinner. If you hear your name, congratulations. Go to scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Look for the winner link to claim your prize. If you want to be a winner Chicken Dinner, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel. Go to youtube.com, get a username and login, go to Scrapbooking Made Simple, type in that in the search bar, our channel will appear, hit the red subscribe button, and then post a comment on this YouTube. Any comment is fine as long as it's polite and kind. That's all we ask, is polite and kind. I'll approve it, or Kayla will approve it. Now she's helping me approve the comments, and you go in the running for a prize on the next YouTube. So let me get our Winter Chicken Dinners for this week, because I'm sure you're excited to hear if that's you. If you are Karen Belvinder, Karen Belvender, congratulations, you just won a $150 prize. You can't go wrong with that, and the only place you could find that exclusive bundle was here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. So congratulations, Karen Belvender, but you're not alone. You have company. Margie Smythe. Margie Smythe, congratulations to you too. I know it's after Christmas, I know it's delayed, but it's still like Christmas, right? Woohoo, can true for you guys. I'm very excited to be back. I don't do sick well. I just don't. I'm the type that you just leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't knock on the door and ask how I'm doing. If I want something, I'll come out and get it, or I'll ask you for it. Just leave me alone. I am that kind of sick person, which I suppose is better than kind of, I'm not that person. So I'm glad to be back. All right, Margie Smythe and Karen Belvender. I hope I have that right, Karen, but if not, that's okay. Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to both of you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to tilt on down for today. I'm going to get started. This is Saturday with Stacey, YouTube number 229. A little late or a little early, however you want to look at it. Bye, guys. Down we go. Ooh, that moved really easy. Woohoo. Okay, now I have to zoom in. You know the routine. I figured you guys wouldn't mind if I had something to drink, because a lot of you will say that you sit down and we have tea together. You'll be drinking your tea and crafting at the same time you're watching this. So I thought, okay, well, they won't mind if I have my drink then, right? It'll keep me able to do this. Now, this is the free make and take that we were supposed to do last week. Guess what? We're doing it this Saturday. Yvette is so happy she didn't have to get a new make and take ready. She was thrilled. So this is one of my contour dies, contour edge die. Super cute card. Everybody wanted to know what this paper was when I showed it on Facebook a while ago. That is Lawn Fawn and part of their plaid paper. I think it's out of their winter collection. But there's the die. And this is what that set looks like. Now you see there's two dies, the Sailboat and the Lighthouse. Yes, on my contour dies, you get both. You get two, and they are a true A2 size, so you can take an A2 card base and make a beautiful edge. And they're guy, but they don't have to be guy, but they're not cutesy. They're a little more sophisticated. So Yvette put this card together, which is just lovely. Love that card. And then I was playing with the dies when I first got them. And here's the Sailboat. So when I had to do a QC sample, then I just turned my paper around because I didn't want to cut a new piece of paper. And here is the Lighthouse. So they can be masculine, but they don't have to be masculine. You get both dies for the $15.99, which is an awesome price. And again, they're exclusive to Scrapbooking Made Simple. These are my designs, and I'm the only place you're going to find them. There we go. Okay, so that was the make and take that we have for this Saturday coming up. Now, I said I'm going to start really easy, and I think I am. I'm going to start first off with the Kaleidoscope die for this month. Yes, there's a Kaleidoscope die this month, and next month in January will be our very next must-haves. What's a kaleidoscope? Well, a kaleidoscope is die. First off, it was named after the collection. Kaleidoscope was named after my mom. And I'm not going to go into that because I'll start crying like a baby, and we don't need that at all. I didn't bring Kleenex with me. So Kaleidoscope dies are layering dies. They always come with 3 or 4, well, they always have 4 dies. Sometimes it's 3 panels that will make it up with an extra panel. Sometimes it takes all 4 panels. Well, it doesn't take, because you can use 1, 2, 3, or all 4 panels. And that's what this one is. This is a 4 panel. You have the the sunrise in the background, or the sun in the background with your mountains. Then you have your forest trees. Then you have your water die here. And then you have your front foliage. But because it's called a guy thing, I really wanted to have something that could be used not only by itself, where you don't have to use any of the male figures at all, but that you could use male figures because they're so hard to come by. And I didn't want to just give you one. I wanted you to be able to make this scene in so many different ways. So I'm going to, and each one of these is an A2 size die. So if you just wanted water all by itself, you've got a die that will just do water. If you wanted the mountains, you've got a die that will do the mountains. If you just need a tree border, you've got a tree border. And if you want a forest, you've got a forest. So you've got 4 dies to play with. 4 separate dies that you can use by themselves, together in many combinations. But then again, remember, I gave you 4 different scenes to fill it up with that are guy related. You've got the little father and son, or grandfather and son. You've got them over here as well. You've got them here with the doggy. You've got a fisherman just by himself, and you've got the little fish jumping out of the water. This all comes as a set, and our price is only $29.99. $29.99, so you can kind of see what they will allow you to do. Now, I know other companies make layering dies, but they don't come anywhere near $29.99 for a price. No, no, no. So I have over here the dies that make up. So here is the tree. Here's your tree die. And here is your mountain caps and your sun ray for this one right here. And here is your very basic water die. And last but not least, your forest die. Now, they don't look too much, I mean, you can get an idea of how to use them if they were by themselves. The idea is to mix and to match. And you have that opportunity with these dies. So I'm just going to move the actual dies out of the way. And I'm going to bring over a piece of yellow paper, just a piece of yellow cardstock. Now, my first die is my clouds and my sun ray. And when I put that on the back of a yellow piece of paper, I instantly have something. Now, I could stop right there and do nothing more and put a sentiment down here and call it done. And if I don't want the snow caps white, they don't have to be. The snow caps can be backed in any color you want. Did you want to make them a brownie color? It's up to you. You have the opportunity to change them to whatever you want. But here, all I've done is taken one die cut, one die, and backed it on a piece of yellow paper. And you could use this all by itself with nothing else in it. But what if you wanted something else? Well, okay, now I have the forest. And I can layer that forest right on top of my snow-capped mountains. And now I've got a whole nother scene, completely different. Not the same, still out of the same set for $29.99. But what if I don't want to use the background? What if I just want my forest? Well, okay, you can just use your forest if you want. put something else in here. I have the beautiful stamp set. You could stamp a sentiment right there and put it right in there. Throw a piece of twine along the bottom and you're done. But I wanted to mix and match. So I've layered and I've layered. Now I have my water die, which lays right on top of my forest. And now I've introduced water to my scene. Now I've introduced water to my scene. And it just keeps building. But what if I just want the water in the mountains? Okay. What if I just want the water in the trees? The forest? Okay. It's up to you. You could make the most beautiful sunset in the back with gelatos, and so you get all of the elements, you get all of these pieces. Let's go back and layer it the way it's supposed to be. So now I've added my water. And again, this doesn't have to be for a guy. This can be your vacation, your family vacation. This can be where you live. This can be a card for somebody who loves the outdoors. Doesn't necessarily have to be for a guy. It's not overly guy-ish until you add the silhouettes. Let's see if I can get them. There we go. Better. But I'm not done. I have one more layer to go. And that is my tree. So now I have got my big tree coming over. I've got my water below. I've got my forest behind it. I've got my snow-capped mountains. I've got my sun peeking through. And there you go. 4 die cuts, 4 different colored papers, and you have got a card that is 3-dimensional and amazing. You can pop, you can, crazy. But of course, if I just want my tree, I can just have a tree. I can just have a tree and the mountains. The idea with spending $29.99 on the set is that it gives you more than the sum of the parts together. It gives you more. You can use everything all by itself. What if I don't want the forest trees, but I want the water and the big tree? Okay. Can you see all the different things you can accomplish? And I haven't, all I've done is paper. That's it, paper. Nothing more than paper. And because it's A2 sized, you can go in there and grab scratch paper and play away. We all have paper that's left over. What happens if I don't want the background, but I do want the forest trees? So instead of the $60, $70 that you'll find other layering die sets for, and they're beautiful sets, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, I just know that at that price it becomes very difficult for a lot of our customers to be able to afford it. So we tried to give you the 4 dies. There, now I don't have any background. Took out my mountain caps. But remember, I said we've got the silhouettes to include. So I wanted to give you 4 different silhouettes. First off, you have the grandpa or the dog or the dad and the doggy and the little boy, and you're all fishing. How cute is that? But what if you don't have a dog? Okay, I can go with that on with you. I should tape these down so they stay in place. Okay, 1, 2, 3, for Yvette. She paper clipped the one she did for me. So then I have just the grandfather and son or nephew and uncle or whatever it is. Could even be a little girl. Why not? And then we have the two of them fishing. Okay, but what if you want to stand up and go fishing? Okay, well, we can do that too. We've got them. So now they're standing in their boat. And where are their little fishing poles? Don't worry, I didn't forget the little fishing poles. I've got little fishing poles that come with the set. I don't know if you can see him with his little fishing pole, but I've got both so that they go both directions. How cute is that? But what if your husband or your uncle or your grandfather or your brother or they just go fishing alone? Okay. Got that covered too. See if I can get my little fishing pole out of there. Okay. Got that covered too. Let's see which is my right way. There we go. So now we've got him fishing, whoop, all by himself. And I actually have a little fish and splash that will come up, and you can put that in there too, and it splashes away. So this is Kaleidoscope, and it's really meant to be able to utilize. Now, maybe you don't want to utilize any of this, but you want to use that. Well, sure, you don't have to do any of this. You can just use this on a card. Why not? And you'll notice that there's a curvature to the bottom. It will show you how to put that curve right onto the water so it blends right in. All the boats have a slight curve at the bottom to make room for the wave, so it just all works perfectly together. It really just does. And you just lay your dies in there, and again, all I've used is paper so far. And I used my Big Shot machine. Will these go through a Cuttlebug machine? Yes. Will they go through a Spellbinder machine? Yes. Will they go through, gosh, I don't know what other kind of machines are there. It's an A2 size, so it's 5 and 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you should be able to fit this in just about every die cutting machine out there on the market. And you can layer it to whatever colors make your heart happy. This is the one Yvette did as my sample. I told you she clipped it together so it would stay together. So hers looks completely different. She used totally different colors. And made it just beautiful. That's what a kaleidoscope die does. It layers, and that's what the intent was meant to be, so that you can use the pieces individually or you can use them all together. It's just up to you. Up to you. So that's what she did. She just cut herself her little mountains to go behind. So now she has glittery snow-capped mountains. That is the Kaleidoscope die for December. It's a guy thing. And it's a guy thing. And I hope that you find that it's something that you'll be able to use, because it's so hard out there to find nice guy elements that can be used together, that can be used separate. And here she just took a little piece of blue paper and backed the water. That's all she did. Took a piece of blue paper and backed the water. And then her tree. And then whichever boat makes you happy. Love it with the little doggy in there. It sits behind. How cute is that? Let's see if I can pick them up. I have not had my nails done in 3 weeks. If you saw what my nails look like, oh my gosh. I'm hoping the camera's not picking it up. So that is the Kaleidoscope die. And remember, it's not one die. It's made up of 4 distinctly different dies that then coordinate together. Let's get that, well, press that one over there, get this one over here, trying to multitask. 4 dies that can either be used together or separate, all on their own. And then because I have room, see how much room I had in there? I was like, okay, I got room. We're gonna put the guys in there. We're gonna give you the silhouettes to be able to finish it off, should you want. Remember I was telling you I have that little fishy? There, that die is a little fish die, so he can be jumping off the water as they're catching him. All right, so that's Kaleidoscope. So I've now shown you Kaleidoscope, and I've shown you the contour edge die, which was the Sailboat and the Lighthouse. We're going to move on. I'm just gonna move these right out of my way. And just grab a super quick drink. All right. Next thing I want to show you quickly is the Standalone Stamp Set. It's a big stamp set, not small. It's $9.99, and it is all sentiments. That's all it is sentiments. And I have a feeling my Standalone Stamp Sets will always just be that, sentiments. Now, guy sentiments can be hard to find, and I could do them with the dies, but then my sentiments would be so tiny. I didn't like that. I wanted to give you an opportunity to actually say something that was nice and big, where you can make a whole card right out of the sentiment, where you could do a whole card out of that sentiment. Let me get a piece of paper to back this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sentiments in the set for $9.99, and I want to read you them. The first one says, the first one I've got right there, says, the first to apologize is the bravest, the first to forgive is the strongest, the first to forget is the happiest. And that's the largest stamp in the set. Now, that's true for everybody. That's just true for everybody, whether you be a guy, a girl, a grandma, a mom, an uncle, a brother, a in-law. This is just a true sentiment. The first to apologize is the bravest, the first to forgive is the strongest, the first to forget is the happiest. So not all of these sentiments are totally guy related to where you couldn't use them for somebody else. I also have, when you feel like quitting, think about why you started. I have trust the timing of your life. I am having to learn this one. This is, again, when I did these, it was so long ago. Who knew what was going to happen? This one has become a truth for me. Trust the timing of your life. The next one is, the real man smiles in trouble, gathers strength from distress, and grows brave by reflection. So I think that's just a nice sentiment for a guy. The real man smiles in trouble, grows strength from distress, and grows brave by reflection. The next one we have is, sometimes you have to be your own hero. And I'm also finding that out. Between trust the timing of your life and sometimes you have to be your own hero. True, true, true. Okay, the next one I have is, a true hero isn't measured by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart. A true hero isn't measured by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart. And the last one, great hopes make great men. So this is the Standalone Stamp Set for It's a Guy Thing. and I'm really, really happy with it. I'm happy and proud of the price that we're able to bring it to you, and I'm hoping that some of these sentiments are perhaps things you haven't seen before, or are at a size and a value that now you can afford to have a stamp set for a guy. I put them in backwards. Okay, well, okay, well, that's not gonna work. At any rate, I'm hoping that it's something that speaks to you, because it did speak to me. And the first time I did it was with my Be Who You Are collection, and I really enjoyed having the opportunity to say something. And sentiments are so hard to find sometimes. So even if you can only afford one stamp set for a man, this covers. No, there's not a happy birthday. I bet you have a happy birthday stamp. No, there's not a happy Father's Day. I bet you have a happy Father's Day stamp. I think that these say something more. And I think sometimes you need to say something more. And so I did. Okay, so that's the stamp set. All right, next thing we're gonna move on to, we're gonna start playing with the Go Press and Foil machine, and with some dies and with some stamp plates. Now, what are stamp plates? First off, this is one of the plates that I did for this collection, and it can be done either vertically or horizontally. Now, why am I showing you this front? Because I want to show you the back. The picture on the front does not represent the size of the stamp die, the foil die. So they call them hot foil stamps. This is exclusive to Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it is $19.99. Now, my dear friend Anna Griffin has some wonderful, her own hot foil stamps, and they're beautiful, but they're about half the size of this for more money. I really wanted you to be able to afford them, because if you've got a Go Press and Foil machine, you want to use stuff in it. You want pretty things, but if the dies are $25 each, that's getting, and smaller, that's getting to be kind of pricey. So this is the one we're going to play with first. And again, I wanted to show you that there is a huge size difference. Pay no attention to the picture. We probably need to put on here, oh, it does say that it does give the size, but I think I'm going to say we're going to need to put on here maybe picture is 60% of actual size. I think I'm going to change that and do that. Now again, these are done exclusively for us. These are my designs, and this is the one we're going to be playing with today. But to go with this, you may be saying, Stacey, that's lovely. I'm so glad that you love hot foil plates and you love hot foil stamps and you're doing your own hot foil stamps. Kudos to you. But honestly, I can't afford a Go Press and Foil machine, so that means nothing to me. I hear you. I get you. I got it. We did the exact same set as a stamp and die combo. Now, this is extremely, it's just a wonderful value. Truly it is. You're going to get the whole die and the whole stamp that will fit, just in case you have both. But I've probably lost you, so I'm going to get started and we're going to play. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about my Go Press and Foil machine. Here it is. It is a heating element. Okay, first off, when you plug it in, there is a button you have to push. It's right there. You have to push that button. And the light will come on when you plug it in, and that tells you you've turned it on, but that doesn't mean you've started the heating element. You have to press that little button, and it will go, well, actually, it will go, it'll blink red. I've had mine plugged in and been working, been double clicking it to keep it hot while I've been talking to you, but it will go red. Now this heating element slides right in and out. See, right in and out. And this element goes through your Big Shot machine, your Cuttlebug machine, your Go Press, Go Cut and Emboss machine, whatever will do a steel rule die. A grand caliber, no, you can't use this in a grand caliber. I'm so sorry. It has to be able to do thick dies. So Sizzix Big Shot machine, Sizzix Fabi machine, Sizzix Vintage machine. Oh, see, it just turned red. That's telling me it's not hot enough to use yet. Now, this is my plate, and it's very hot, and I don't have my little tweezers. I don't know what I did with them. I don't have my little tweezers. I want you to notice that my foil plate has been foiled bronze. That's because I did it wrong. Is it going to hurt the plate at all? No. And if I do it wrong again, it will cover this color up with the foil and do a whole nother color. But the way to use this, first off, it gets warm. Is it get hot enough to burn you? Well, if you left your hand on there forever, probably, but it does get warm. It is a heating element, and that foil plate has to be face up so you can see the design. If I put it this way, I'm not going to be able to use my plate correctly. Is scrapbooking made simple and simply the define the only place you can get plates? No, Couture Creations makes plates. Ultimate Crafts, which is owned by Couture Creations, makes plates. Anna Griffin makes plates. We're not the only place, but if you like what you see, we're the only place. So we do have lots of other options for you if you do want to get into a Go Press and Foil machine. Now I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tilt up super quick. Don't buy a Go Press Foil machine this week. Don't. I know what's coming. And I know that that we will have something for you the first Saturday of January. Oh, my face is really big. The first Saturday of January. That is a better value. So if you love what you see, wait. I know that's contradictory to this isn't about selling the machine. This is about showing you how to use it properly and what to do with the machine. I know that we're going to have a better price on that machine the first Saturday of January. Please wait. That doesn't mean if you want to get these foil plates now because they're mine and you don't want them to sell out, go ahead and order them. That's fine. But don't order the machine yet. Save your money. I promise you I would not lead you down the wrong path. It would hurt my heart. I know that they're going to be on sale, and it would be morally wrong not to tell you that in advance. It's not like we're going to have them on sale in 3 months. We're going to have them on sale in a week and a half. So it would be wrong for me not to give you that information now so that you could wait and get it then and get the extras that we have for you. Okay? Okay. Sorry, I can't not tell you that it's going to be on sale. All right. I know. I'm weird. But that's okay. I can look myself in a mirror at night. So this slides in and out. This piece is going to fit into your die cutting machine. But how do you use it? Well, first off, they make lots of foil. Lots of different colors of foil. Beautiful colors of foil. Foil that's a little exclusive right now. This was an oops. I wasn't supposed to use these foils for this YouTube, but it turns out that part of our worldwide exclusive is starting now. Because we're the first place to have these. These are pretty awesome. So I'm just gonna put them over there. At least I hope we're the first ones to have them. I'm gonna put them over there, and I'm gonna tell you that there's 15 feet of foil on here. 15 feet on a roll for $2.80. It is an unbelievable value. And then of course we're going to have it on a YouTube Yummy, absolutely. I'm gonna cut off a piece of foil. And I'm gonna cut a piece of paper. So I have got my Simply Defined white cardstock. We're just going to keep it pretty simple. That should work. Don't need quite this much. So I put my foil on backwards. And I don't want you to put your foil on backwards. It doesn't hurt the plate. Again, it's perfectly fine. But if you don't do it, it's better. because you waste the foil. So I always put my foil on my cardstock and I look at it. Remember, when you pull the foil off, what you want to see is that image. So you put that foil the way you want to see it once that card is completely done. Is that what do you want that image in that foil? That's how you put it. If I put my foil this way and I look at my card and I say, oh yes, I want to see that silver. That's how you end up with this. I don't want to see the silver once my card is all done. I want to see those beautiful ferns and this gorgeous coppery, yummy color, bronzy. So I want to look at it this way. Then you lay it right on top of your foil plate. Right on top. And depending on what type of machine you have, whether it be a Big Shot or a Cuttlebug, you will need some form of a shim. Now, when you get your machine, when you get it for the very first time, you need to take an hour or two. Yes, I know, an hour or two. It's going to come with some rolls of foil. It's going to give you 2 rolls of foil to begin with, so you don't have to worry that you're not going to have any foil. And of course, when you get your machine, we'll be including, when you buy it in January, we'll be including some worldwide exclusive new plates. But you have to play with it. You have to give yourself an opportunity to say, gosh, how much of a shim does it need? Does it need a 100-pound double shim? Does it need 2 pieces of cardstock? Does it need a piece of copy paper? Everybody's machine is different. But once you figure out which shim it is, then you write it. You do it. Write it on there. Now, will this shim stay good forever? No, it's a piece of paper. So every time I run it through my Big Shot machine, it's going to compress down and compress down, making my shim thinner and thinner. All this is a 100-pound piece of my Simply Defined paper folded in half. That seemed to work beautifully with a standard Big Shot machine. So far, everybody has said that this has been a workable shim for them. Now remember, I told you it has to heat up and that light has to go green. Now I've had it open and closed and opened and closed and opened and closed, and it very well may go back to a red blinking light. I'm going to give it a couple seconds just to make sure it doesn't. I need it to all heat up, and if it did go back to a red blinking light, that's okay. Just give it a few minutes, or actually less than that, and it will go to green. Once that light goes to green, that means you're good to go. So I'm gonna, oh, see, it turned red. It's telling me, oh, well, you're kind of almost there, but not exactly yet. So we're gonna give that a chance to go to green. And I'm just gonna let it sit there for a minute. Now, the foils are easy to use. And do you have to use them with this machine? No, I've used them on Stacey tape. We've die cut with them. There's lots to be done. And at $2.80 for their foil, it is substantially less than any other foil on the market. Okay, it went green. Let's take it out. I'm gonna bring my Big Shot machine on over. I'm just gonna pull it right out. I don't need to add anything. I don't need to change anything. I don't need to add another clear plate. I just need to roll it through. And you need to roll it through slowly. This is not a race. So you want to go forward and you want to go backwards. Again, we're not in a race. There we go. Now I'm going to move my Big Shot machine out of the way. I'm going to bring back over my heating element, and I'm going to put this back in right away because I want it, see, it turned red again. It's telling me it's not ready to go because I had it out of the heating element. I want it to continually be staying hot. So as I do these, I'm not waiting forever for it to get warm. Okay, let's see what we've got. So you can see that it transferred the image. But that's not the ah moment. The ah moment is when you peel back. How yummy is that? And you still have this foil to use, and you have the negative to use. And I've shown how to use the negative using the Simply Refined Metal Shim to get all of this off. I mean, you have opportunity. Don't throw this away until you learn how to take off this and make a whole nother card. You need a squishy, but it will work beautifully. But I've got a beautiful image, foiled, just gorgeous, in one of the new colors that I'm not supposed to have shown you yet, but shh. Aussie Andrew, we love you. Cheers. All right, so easy to do, fun to do. Let me see if I can pull another color. They've got a new color, so I'm just gonna pull another color. The only thing I don't like about the foil, only thing that I am not hog wild crazy about, is how they close it with this little piece of tape. Because I'll tell you, it is not easy to get that little piece of tape up. I struggle. There's got to be a better way. And then I cut that piece off. Now I'm not going to throw that away because I can use some of this other foil, but I want to have a nice clean piece. Now this time I'm going to take a piece of black paper. Cut it down to size. This feels like it's 80 pound. So we have new 100-pound black cardstock. I'm going to cut off a piece of my foil. Now it's got some little divots in there. That's okay if the foil's not perfectly flat. It's got a little scratch mark, a tiny little scratch mark in there. Can you see that? That's okay. Don't worry about it. And then I want to look at the foil as if I was looking at my finished card. Is that what you want to see? If this was all foiled, is that what you want to see? Because that's what you want to put face down, right against. There we go. My shim. Give it a minute to, it'll probably go red again. We'll give it just a minute. And as I was saying, we use this foil for just about everything. You can die cut with it. You can put it on Stacey tape. You can, it's just wonderful. There's a lot more uses of the foil than just using a Go Press and Foil machine. So don't limit yourself when you get the foil, or if you don't have a Go Press and Foil and you want to be able to take tape and double-sided adhesive, and this is fabulous, and it's at a price where you can afford it. $280 less 15%, and it's 15 feet long. That is substantially, like 3 times longer than any other foil out on the market, and it is about half the price. That is a great value. All right, it's still saying we're good. Let's give it a whirl and see what happens. Bring up my Big Shot machine, or my Big Kick machine, or my Vagabond machine, or my Express machine, or my Fabby machine, or my Vintage machine, and just be slow. You're not in a hurry. You got no place to be. You're crafting and we're having tea together. Just be slow. The biggest issue with the Go Press and Foil machine is, one, people don't take the time to figure out what shim works with their die cutting machine, and 2, they roll it through that machine at warp speed, lightning speed. And those tend to be the biggest problems, which is why I say, when you get your machine, take an hour or 2, grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your whatever drink makes your heart happy, and just play with old yucky paper and things you don't really use anymore, care about the paper anymore, and that way you can feel comfortable and confident in what you're doing before you try to make the most gorgeous card you've ever made or the most gorgeous embellishment you've ever made in your entire life. And it's the last piece of paper that you had to do this with, and you're supposed to be at the party in 10 minutes. Don't do that to yourself. Oh, I need a drink, hold on. Don't do that to yourself. Take some time and play. All right. Is that not rock star? I feel so accomplished when I pull it off. I didn't do a thing. All I did was roll it through a big shot machine, but I feel like a rock star. Okay. But then you say, Stacey, now mind you, with this set here, I don't know where I put it, but with this set here, not only do you get the frame, but you get 2 smaller leaves so that you can use the leaves on their own, you can pop them, you can do whatever you want. But you're saying, Stacey, that's lovely, but then what do I do? You said something about a die. Yes, I have the die. Here it is. Comes with the stamp. So if you can't foil, but you want to stamp, and you want to use your Essentials glue pad and glue this up and stamp it down and then drizzle your glitter all over it and move it with your finger, oh my gosh. And yes, the extra ferns that come with it also can be die cut out, absolutely. But then I had more room. See all of this? I had more room. So we got words for you. I was able to get to my father-in-law, brother-in-law, uncle-in-law, son-in-law, to my dad, to my father, to my brother, to my uncle, to my son. All of those words are also included in the die and stamp set. You get it all. Now let's go ahead and let's die cut. So I am going to bring over my Big Shot machine. And for this, I am going to use my magnetic platform. Do you have to use a magnetic platform? Absolutely not. If you got a multi-purpose cutting platform with your machine, and you did, whether it be the long one or the short one, you can absolutely use that. The beauty of the magnetic platform is that it lets you lay something down and line it up, and then it ideally doesn't move. Of course, I put my die through on a precision base plate, but we won't talk about that. Okay, so this is an open frame die, which means it's not intricate at all. You do not need a precision base plate with it. Okay, I think that's pretty close. I'm going to put my top plate right over it, and I'm going to send it on through. You'll hear some creaks and some cracks. Don't worry, it's okay, you didn't ruin your machine. So it should be a one-time cut, but just in case, you can always roll it back. So now I was able to cut it out. Then I can put it on my card base. I can put a I can die cut a sentiment here. I can do whatever I want. Now I've cut that entire design out. We are the only place, the only company that does a matching die. I can't do it for all of them, but I try a matching die to cut your hot foil stamp image out. It makes it even more. Now it's not just on a piece of white paper. I mean, and then you can stamp your image in there. Sure, you can do those things, but what if you wanted to layer? What if you wanted to layer? Now you've got that opportunity. And again, it can go this way, it can go this way, it can go this way. It's up to you. It can go this way. You've got a beautiful fern that it's all seasons. Depending on what color you use it with, it's all seasons. But you're still saying, Stacey, I don't have a Go Press and Foil machine. I know, I'm getting there. Getting there. Okay, remember, die, stamp. Now this is where our next exclusive comes in, and it is from Do Crafts. So, I am in love with my Do Crafts blocks. Love, love, love. I'm going to put these down there. No, this one over here. Love, love, love my Do Crafts blocks. $12.50 gets you all of these blocks, gets you the little spongy carrying case. Love, love, love them. Probably one of the best values I've ever seen in crafting in my life. I know companies that sell this block for $12.50. Forget about everything else. But my stamp that I did, it was too big for the block. So I had to either reduce the size of my image, and that meant reducing the plate, stamp plate, the foil plate. It meant reducing the die. It meant reducing everything because it's just a hair too big. But when you're stamping, a hair is a lot. So, in comes Do Crafts. Ha 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 ha. With the newest block set. The large set. Now mind you, you still get 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. And the blocks do not duplicate in size. So you're not going to have the exact same size in any of the sets. But they made a block big enough. They made a block big enough for my stamp. Okay, are you ready? This set retails for $12.50. We've had it on a YouTube Yummy. You guys were buying it for like $10.63 or something like that. This set retails for $10.95. And yes, it's on a YouTube Yummy. And the only place you're going to find it through, I think, April of next year is Scrapbooking Made Simple. This is a 6x8 block. Okay, for that price, you don't have to use one of your cutting pads anymore. For that price, you can, I am comfortable enough saying, you can have this, you can buy this. You don't have to grab one of your cutting mats, because when you have a stamp this size, that's what I say to do. Grab one of your cutting mats and use that. But for $10.95 less the discount, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and the carrying case, the little storage case. We have Do Crafts to thank. A huge thank you. I didn't want to change my die. I wanted what I wanted because I wanted it to be perfect for you. I wanted it to be perfect for me. And the only way to have done that was if they came through and were able to make a block that was affordable and large enough to fit just about any clear stamp out there or cling stamp out there. So now what do? Well, now I'm going to take a piece of paper. Cut it up. And I've got my block. Again, this is a large size stamp. And for me, because there is no, can you see how there's no support here? It's a little wibbly wobbly like a wet noodle. For me, the easiest way to pick this stamp up is to lay it flat on a piece of paper. Lay it flat. That way I can be sure all the lines, they're straight, everything looks good. Lay it flat, then take my block. Of course I need to lay it, yeah, no, I've got it right. Then take my block and press down. And it will cling right to it. Ta-da! Now I don't have to worry about wiggly wobbly lines on the side. We weren't able to put supports in there because you would be able to see them. So if you stamped with it, I didn't want you to have little lines. It would not look good. Now I'm going to take up some inks, and I'm going to start with Memento. I'm just going to play with Memento, and I have got 4 different colors of Memento. I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is pistachio. And I'm just going to go ink, ink, ink all over. I'm going to ink my entire surface. Whole thing in pistachio. Then I'm going to take my bamboo leaves and I'm going to hit it here and there with bamboo leaves. And these are the dewdrop size. Do they sell full size in these colors, Memento inks? Absolutely. For colors that I don't use on an everyday basis, buy the dewdrop there. This is like $8. Oh, I just took my little fishing poles went flying. This is like $8 for this. These are $2.29. I would have a black and a full size, but all the fun colors that you want to have but don't want to like use all the time or spend that much money on, buy the dewdrop size. You'll be very happy. They can be re-inked. You don't ever have to throw them away. The same re-inker you use for this, you use, well, the same re-inker you use for a full size of the orange, you would use for a full size of the dewdrop size. The ink's the exact same, whether it be in the full size pad, the dewdrop pad, the marker, which is an oops pin. Take my orange, and I'm just gonna kind of hit some of my with my orange, not too much. And then last but not least, my brown. And again, you need to start with your lightest color first and build your color on there. If I started with my brown and put my brown down and then went back to do my lightest green, the green would absorb into the brown. You would never see anything. Now, this is a larger stamp and you may not want to use a gush pad. You may just want to take your paper and lay it right down and give a nice little massage. Because it is a larger stamp, sometimes you get holes because you don't get really great pressure. This time I'm just going to give it a nice little massage. If you get holes in your stamps, so when you stamp your image and you pull up and it's got a hole where you didn't get enough pressure, one, you probably are working on a hard surface. You need to have a gush pad, whether it be my gush pad or a Doris stamp pad. Mine's $1.99 and it's twice that size. Doris is $3.99 and it's twice the size of mine. Cut them up and share them with friends, but it will make your stamping a whole lot better. Or turn it upside down. Let's see what I got. I did have it backwards. Ta-da! Okay, so there you go. Isn't that the most beautiful background you've ever seen in your entire life? I've made mixed media. Holy smokes, artichokes. Okay, let's lay it down. So let's lay it down. Oh my gosh. Pick it up. Okay, now touch it. Can you feel it? All right, yay. I can't believe I did that, but I'm gonna give that to one of the girls and make them do something with it. Okay, so all I did was lay my stamp down again on my paper, just so that my little lines are not wiggly wobbly. They're not inside or, not straight. Just lay it down, make sure everything looks straight. Put my stamp block on top. Can't believe I did that. But now you know my videos are not edited because somebody who edits their video would have just cut that whole little thing out. Pick it up, feel. Can you feel the stamp? Good. Now, remember I said start with the lightest color first. Well, it's good to know I had good coverage, isn't it? Start with your lightest color first. Isn't that nice to know? Oh, well. I would blame it on the medication, but it's just antibiotics. All right, a little bit of my darker green, a little bit of my orange, and a little bit of my brown. just a touch. And I want to make sure that I don't get lines. All right, let's turn it over. Okay, let's try again. So I'm going to leave it flat up. I'm going to take my paper. I'm going to get a new piece because I want a whiter piece. Oh, really big piece. And set it down. And massage. Oh yeah, now I can tell. I can feel the little hole in there. Now I can tell. Let's give it a nice massage. Remember, I'm on the new Do Crafts block sizes. So I would think if you have both sets, you would, again, have everything you possibly could ever need in the way of blocks. And once you buy your blocks, you don't have to buy them again. They last forever, just like a die does, just like a stamp does. I'll be able to use this stamp forever. They never go bad. All right, let's see how I did. Oh, look at that. Poof, so much better. And I've got varying colors because I took and I started with my lightest color of Memento. Now, do you have Lawn Fawn ink? Do you have Stampin' Up ink? Do you have, I don't know, whose ink do you have? Try it. You don't have to, just try. You don't have to go out and buy anything special. You think that'll still do it? You don't have to go out and buy anything special. If you've got inks already, give it a whirl and see if they work. Ink it up real good. You always want that bottom in the lightest color ink to be your base color, and really ink it up good. Cover it up really nice. Then a little bit darker in your greens. And maybe just a little bit of browns, kind of here, here, maybe just a little bit here, and maybe a little bit there. So let's see what happens. I didn't use any orange at all. Take my paper, lay it right down on top. Give a nice little massage. Now I'm not pressing down so hard that my fingers are red and turning white. I'm just giving a nice little massage, like you were giving your little puppy or your kitty a nice little massage on the back, or your little grandbaby or your son or your daughter when you're putting them to sleep at night and they want you to rub their back a little bit. Isn't that the best? That's the best time ever. Mine are 15 and 16. Now I have to knock before I enter their bedrooms. All right, let's see what I have. Have no idea what it's going to be like. Ooh, but I like. Look at, I got a little bit of distressed aging going on by putting it in the corners, a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. Wahoo. Which one do you like better? A little bit of ink and you can do both. But remember, we still have the die. We still have the die. So I can bring my Big Shot machine over, which is why if you do not have a Go Press and Foil machine and you loved the fern, it's okay. Just get the die in the stamp set. You don't have to get the foil plate. You can do it all with the die in the stamp set because you've got a Big Shot machine or a Cuttlebug machine or, gosh, with this one, because it's thin, you can use anything. You've got a Grand Caliber machine or a Vintage Sizzix machine. You've got them. Lay it there. Line it up. think that's close. I'm going to send it through. Hopefully I'm close enough. It's an open frame die. You don't need a precision base plate. I didn't put it on an angle because my paper was so big. So yeah, I'm going to hear some creaks and cracks. That's okay, don't worry. Creaks and cracks are expected. You didn't hurt anything, I promise. And let's grab our die. And you too can have a beautiful die cut. Stamped image, die cut out, ready for you to now stamp your perfect space for the first to apologize is the bravest, the first to forgive is the strongest, the first to forget is the happiest. Or a true hero isn't measured by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart. You've now got room to stamp and to layer. You've got extra paper. You're good to go. You're good to go. Now, if I was on my multi-purpose platform that comes with your machine, whether it be the small or the large, if you have the long one, still the exact same thing. You're going to use it exactly the same way. I am going to take, what did I do with my cutting plate? I'm going to take my cutting plate and my paper and my die. Let's see, line my corner. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go with it. Clear plate over the top. Your do not cut plate you want over your top. Now, if you wanted to take a little bit of a Post-it note to put it down, I could have put a Post-it note here. I could have put a piece of repositionable tape here. Anything just to hold it in place. I'm gonna take my chances. Bring my big shot machine on over. Hopefully it does not squirm too much, and send it on through. So this is without a magnetic platform. Absolutely you can do it. Got to be a little more careful, but I would rather see you get the dies and the stamps from somebody than the magnetic platform, because that magnetic platform is not inexpensive. If you can do it with what you already have. You can't get the dies anywhere. That was a little off, but not too bad. That was a little off. Can't get the dies anywhere, but you've already got a platform that's going to do the work for you. Put the magnetic platform on a wish list for your birthday or your anniversary or your just because wish list. And then get what you can start using now. Super fun, super easy. And we've got the other plate that I have for you is the Lighthouse Scene. Lighthouse Scene. So let's do that one super quick. The Lighthouse Scene does not have a die to cut it out. It is a standalone hot foil stamp. Let's go ahead and do it super quick. I'm gonna get it in here heating up. Move this one on out, get that one in here heating up while I get some paper and open the blue. "15 feet of foil" is not the most gorgeous blue.
I'm gonna find that little piece of tape that I just need them to change. See, because I went through it. Gosh darn it. Yep, see, cut right through. Save that for later. Ooh, I really cut into it. All right, let's see what happens. All we can do is try. Move this out of the way. Bring this on over. Grab a piece of paper. Down. Remember, I want to see that foil at the end when it's all done. When I look at the card or the embellishment I'm making, I want to see that foil. So when I look at it, that's how I look. That's how I know which way to put it. Right there. My shim. And let's give it a second to heat up. So with the Diane Stamp Set, you get the die to cut the ferns, you get the stamp to put the detail on the ferns, you get the die and the stamp for the two smaller ferns, and you get all of the words, all of them in one set. Wahoo Kachoo. So if you've got those words and you're doing one of the contour edge dies, or you're doing one of the I Want It All bundle dies, I think you are going to be so happy because you've got your words taken care of. Now this is heating up. We'll give it a second or two. I'm going to grab a super quick drink and then we're going to move on to samples. Actually, while that's heating up, I can do these samples. So, here is the Kaleidoscope that we started with. Very first thing I showed you. Kaleidoscope dies are only available at Scrapbooking Made Simple. $29.99 gets you everything that you see. And Elena has put together the storyboard, giving you an idea of what can be done. Look at how pretty, just the water and the trees. How beautiful is that? And then all of this is able to be done with the dies. And there she's got one completely put together. Gosh, if you don't want to make those water, you can make those rolling little hills down here. Is that gorgeous? Those colors are phenomenal, Elena. I love that. Oh my gosh. See, I don't get to see the storyboards until you do. That way it's a surprise for both of us. Okay, so this is Catching Memories, I'm sorry, the Kaleidoscope Die from It's a Guy Thing. Okay, then we have the Diane Stamp Set for the fern. So here it is. We've foiled that piece right there and die cut it out. And that's with one of the new foils. It's a matte finish gold. Then we've stamped and die cut, stamped and die cut. Here, you can just stamp it if that's what you want to do. You can just stamp. You can just die cut. And there are all the words that you get. So all of this comes in that one package. Yay. Come on, heat up. I forgot to press the red button. Okay. Then we have the foil plate of the fern, which is what I just did, and the 2 ferns that come with it. And then this is the one I'm trying to do. Is that beautiful? Should we try just to see? It still says it's blinking red. Feels pretty hot though. I'm gonna give it a whirl. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. Roll slowly. Slow, 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 slow. Back, 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 back. I think I went all the way. All right, let's give it a whirl and see what happens. Ooh. Oh. Oh, how fabulous is that? Oh my gosh. That's a happy day for me. I tell you, I feel like I'm $1 million. I'm so successful when I do this. Oh my gosh. How beautiful is that? Okay, I have to move on. I'm late, really late. Okay, let's get the dies because I didn't even show you the dies. Let me get, so we've got the stamp set. Standalone stamp set with all the sentiments I told you about. We've got the contour edge set that I showed you in the beginning. All exclusive. Then we've got the first 2 dies of part of the collection. We've got the ancient oak and the breeze over the brine. So there's my ancient oak and there's my breeze over the brine. They're $13.99 each unless you buy them in the I Want It All collection, and then you get all 6 of the dies in the I Want It All for $10 each. Wahoo Kachoo. Then we have my Lazy Lake View and my Riverside Crane. I wanted to say Riverview Crane. There's my crane, Riverside Crane, and my Lazy Lake View. And then the last 2 that are part of the I Want It All collection are Lodge with a View and my Beta Fish Flurry. Love my beta fish. See? Beta fish, beta fish, beta fish. And it's a guy thing. So the 6 that come in the I Want It All for $59.99, that makes them $10 a die, is the Beta Fish and the Lodge, the Crane and the Lake View, and the Tree and the Breeze. All 6 dies, $10 each when you buy them in the I Want It All bundle. Okay, now let's talk samples, because the girls did a beautiful job, and I am running way late. Claire. Here's Claire's beta fish. And here is Claire's kaleidoscope. And she used the ferns. She added the ferns from the Diane Stamp Set. And then she chopped off one of the beta fish and she used just the elements from the kaleidoscope to make this one. This is Claire. Then we have Michelle. And Michelle used the fern. Is that Darling with the little fairy? This is Michelle. And she did it out of the foil. And then Michelle also did the lighthouse. Then we have Sharon. Sharon did the majestic, the beautiful oak tree. The gorgeous oak tree. And here is her kaleidoscope. And it says to my uncle, and she used the dies to do that, to foil it, because you can. Have a YouTube on that with the ferns, and then she cut out the extra ferns to layer on top, all out of foil. And here she just put the matching foil down as her background. Beautiful, isn't it? This is Sharon. Then we have Belinda. And here's Belinda and our crane. And here's Belinda with our lighthouse. And here's Belinda using all the little elements of the fern to make this. And she used my box. This is my shadow box. She stamped, she foiled. These are just stamped and die cut. And then these two, the four on the corners, are foiled. This is Belinda and her mixed media piece. Then we have Kathy. And here's Kathy's beta to Dad, and the to Dad is part of the set that goes with the Diane stamp for the fern, and her beta fish. Grown-up guy is what this is. Grown-up guy. How fabulous is that? This is Kathy. Using the Lodge die. And here is her take on a kaleidoscope. Love the colors. And then she foiled the lighthouse twice. She foiled it on the acetate and then ran the foil again. It's beautiful. It's right on acetate. She foiled it twice to get the two colors on top of acetate. Yes, you can foil on top of the acetate. Pretty amazing, isn't it? And then son-in-law. And then we have Kathy and her layout. I'm sure that's Cody. How cute is that? And you've got the elements. She cut up the by Lakeside, and she cut up the elements to do this. She didn't use any one die. She took a couple little pieces from several dies to do this. There's Kathy. Then we have Yvette. And here's Yvette's crane. Gorgeous, huh? That's Yvette's crane. Then we have Yvette's beta fish. And we have Yvette's contour edge with the sailboat. How beautiful is that with the breeze? This is all Yvette. And then last, the lighthouse foil stamp. Then we have Doris. There's Doris's Lodge. And we have, oh, did I look inside? No, good. Then we have Trust the Timing of Your Life in the Lakeside. How beautiful is that? Is that gorgeous? We have her Kaleidoscope. She did this one with the lighthouse and the foil. This is a great guy. All of these are great guy cards. Oh my gosh, who wouldn't love to get this? Beautiful. And last we have Elena. And here's Elena's with the stamp. Gosh, was I supposed to, Doris, if I was supposed to look inside, I'm sorry. You've got the foil fern and the stamp. Elena's picture frame of her junkyard finds, no doubt. And she used the foil stamp for the lighthouse. And then last but not least, let's see if I can get it over here. Elena. So let me turn it on for you because it wouldn't be Elena if it didn't twinkle. All four sides done with the Kaleidoscope die. Elena rocked it, didn't she? All right. I am going to tilt on up and I'm going to say, oh, this was really long. I'm so sorry. It's me, Stacey. Scrapbooking Made Simple. Simply Defined December collection. Where are you going to get it? You can get it right now at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Go to the YouTube Yummy section and you will see it all there. Okay, I'm tired and I'm going to cough. So hopefully next Monday or so, I will be able to bring you the best of 2017 Simply Defined. And if you missed any of the dies you really wanted, they will be there for you. Please remember that when we do a best of collection at the end of each year, dies are only available online. You cannot come into the store to make your purchase for them. They are only online. This collection and the last collection of Simply Defined will be here in the store. But if something from January is on a best of, you're not going to be able to walk into our store and purchase it. The quantities we have are very limited, very limited. And so we have to make it fair for everybody. So you have to shop online, but you can pick your order up in the store. All right. Find It's a Guy thing and all of the things that go with it at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. It is good to see everybody. I hope you had the most amazing holiday, and I will see you just as soon as I can. All right. Bye.